Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader.com, here with your Monday morning market webcast. Okay, so I mean, as I start to look at the ES, I start to notice how it's kind of rounding off. If price tends to gravitate in and back towards the daily mid band, what we're going to see is you're going to see some compression. You're already seeing compression. So, I mean, the bands are at about 3.5. That's nothing dramatic. But they've certainly tightened in from where they were in December, where they were just utterly blown out. So, I mean, compression, expansion, it is what it is. What we are seeing now is a couple of days worth of price action below the daily mid band. A few 4 days now going on below the 9-day, which had been an issue since back in December. It had spent no meaningful time below the 9-day since December the 27th. So here we are. You can see a massive confluence of exponential moving averages here. Purple, 200, yellow, 100, red, 50. I'm pointing them out to you here because once they get here, it's basically all the same price. I mean, they are jammed in between 27, the 100 is at 27.18, the 50 is at 27.23, 200 is at 27.42. So I just flipped over to the front month. The front month, they're a little more spread out. 50 and the 100 are locked up down here, 18 and 23. The 200 day is effectively at 42, effectively at the Globex low. You go back to the continuation contract, things are a little more jammed up. But the point I'm trying to make is these bands are starting to tighten. If the bands are going to start to tighten, let's go to the hourly chart. If the bands are going to start to tighten, you see the series of lower lows and lower highs. If the bands are going to start to tighten, then you're going to see things continue to gravitate back up towards the daily mid band. And, we'll just do this, it's a magnet to the upside, it's a magnet to the downside kind of a thing, while the bands continue to tighten. If we're not going to get much more tightening, then what I would expect to see this week is the weekly pivot go resistance, daily mid-band stay resistance, and we continue to make lower lows and kind of bleed off to the downside. Not really in a violent fashion, but just kind of the way they did it last week. We just bled to the downside. Bulls need to get these areas back, obviously. Need to get these areas back and start printing stuff with 28s on it again. The longer they stay below weekly pivot on a multiple week basis now, they've been below it all week last week. The longer they stay below the daily mid band, it's been a few days for that, the more likely it is we just continue to correct towards the downside, and then you start to look at areas like the 100 day at 27.18, the 50 at 27.23 as areas of potential support along with the roundy at 2700. It's not really all that far away. All right, everybody have a fantastic day. Join us over at Instagram 9:20 in the morning for the live shot. Basically what we do is I hop on the mic like I do with the room every morning at 9:20. I hop on Instagram live. You guys can take a peek in right before the bell, and I give you guys the same pregame chat that I give them, and then we go off and do our thing. If you want to go off with us and do our thing, come take a trial. I think you'll like what you see. Take care, trade them well. Talk to you soon. Follow us over on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Princeton Trader. Check us out on Facebook and join us for a free trial at www.princetontrader.com. Trade them well.